Yeah, we on.
Welcome to the Just Two Black Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Tonight is 3 Black Brothers. We got the homie Floyd in the sky with us.
Yes.
My brother Poe. You know what I'm
Yeah, we
saying?
on.
Hey, and you don't mind, Floyd, if I tell my kids you the real tonight is 3 Black.
Shit, my bad.
You said tell them what?
You don't mind if I tell my kids you the real Andre 3000, right?
Oh man, look, I would be beyond mine because that guy has his own life. He got to live, and I got my own legacy. I got to create. You know what I mean?
Nah, but I said, I was listening to the album. I was like, shit, I know people would probably have said something to you about it, huh? The sound.
Oh, it gets pretty redundant after a while.
all day. I said, I know you're probably tired of them comparisons, but what's going on with you, man? You know, we ain't talked to you in shit. It's been a year or so.
Yeah, it's been just about a year, a little bit over a year, something like that.
And you've been doing a lot.
Yeah, the world's been going around.
So tell everybody, you know, if we got some new listeners, so let everybody know who you are, where you from, man, what you do.
Yeah, so I go by the name Floyd in the Sky. I'm a recording artist. Probably in about a year and a half, I'll be the biggest recording artist in the world. And I just put out my most recent album called Above Moldavite Mountain. It's a really, really, really dope, trippy album, full of like a whole bunch of different content and context that you could take the substance in. I'm most excited about that album. I feel like it is my first masterpiece I've ever created. So, you know, for any new listeners tuning in right now, definitely go on Apple, Spotify, and, you know, check out the latest album, Above Moldavite Mountain by Floyd in the Sky.
And why'd you name it that?
So I named it Above Moldavite Mountain because Moldavite, for those that, you know, don't know, it's a crystal. In a nutshell, you know, that came from outer space. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm a spiritual person. And so inside me lives, you know, this dwelling space, you know, of transformation. And I called it Moldavite Mountain. And so I really wanted to make a body of work, the album, you know, that really encompassed that, you know, vibe of just like transformation. That's what that crystal's all about, is transformation, bringing your lower self to meet your higher self. So I called it that because I really just wanted to touch on both like the lower parts of my own being and also the highest parts.
My shaman stick.
He got a shaman. You see a shaman stick?
Where's that at? Let me see. Hold up. I got it for the camera switch. Hold up. There it goes. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, shit, my came to chilling. What kind of crystal? I gotta look that crystal up though.
Yeah, for sure. Moldavite, Moldavite.
You know, my wife, her wedding ring was made out of moissanite.
Moissanite?
Yeah, you heard of moissanite?
So I'm trying to decide if I should take this as a serious question.
No, for real. It's made out of you know what, we did some research on this on certain gems when we got her ring or whatever, and like moissanite got the same like cut clarity of a diamond. It's a little bit stronger than a diamond, and they say, you know, like jewelers can't tell the difference.
Really?
That joint be shining too, and it's
I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, so her moissanite joint looked like it looked like diamonds, and when you take it to the jeweler, they believe it's diamonds, but it's one of those. And I think after I bought it for Rick Ross mentioned it in a song. He was like he was talking about something with some moissanite, but yeah, moissanite is one of those stones. It's like under the radar right now type joints. But
I'm gonna have to check that out because I wasn't sure if you was finna make a joke. Yeah, I mean, because it's like, yo, I said my wife, her engagement ring, it's a crystal called moissanite because she was gonna be moist the night I gave it to her. I was like, oh shit.
Hey, and that's why you do what you do, because I didn't even think about making it a bar. You made it a bar. He turned it into a bar on me, but nah. Moissanite, you gonna be moist. I'm gonna tell her that when we get off of here.
Put that ring on it.
But yeah, that moissanite fire though. It looked good, and things like that. But so man, listen, I saw you I follow you on Instagram, so I see you be doing your thing, and you had one of the joints was on MTV on BET, right? They had it on a video.
Yeah, so one of the singles off of Above Moldavite Mountain, the song title is called Aqua Tofana. And that video actually did do a world premiere on BET Jams. So that was really awesome. And also MTV has a channel called MTV Yo Raps, and that's available on the Pluto app for anyone who has Pluto TV via like the Roku app or whatever. Roku's not an app, is Roku an app? Anyway,
it's kind of like
yeah. So it's like that. So it was on both platforms for BET and MTV. And man, I was excited as shit when I saw that, because it's like, literally, I come from a household growing up where all we would do is watch fucking, well, my bad for cussing y'all, but all we would
you can do that.
Watch,
you can cuss on here. You good.
Okay, well, yeah, all we would do is watch, music videos all day on what was MTV Jams until they sold it to BET. So, same exact channel, that I'm watching as a kid, and here I am now, looking at myself, on that same screen, amongst all the other, well-known artists. And so I was definitely very, very happy and excited about that.
Like, man, I believe you have it. You feel me? Like, being in my older years and watching and studying hip hop and being a part of hip hop, like some people just have it. You feel me? And it's like, it's a matter of time, and that's why I reached out to you to come back on, and Poe too. Poe's like, yo, we got to get Floyd back on, man, because you know what it is. You get to, because you gonna get big, and it's like, man, I'll get to the Just Two Black Brothers when I can, but let me go ahead and do this other stuff first. So we want to get you back on before you. Yeah, let's go get this interview. Let's get this interview out the way for he be on them other joints, and we can't get a hold of them. So
I'm all about the networking and the relationships that I make along the way, and I definitely don't plan to switch up or nothing like that on anybody who's helped me get to where I'm going.
So when you saying about a year or so you're gonna be one of the biggest artists on the planet, why'd you say that, and what you got coming up, man? What you working on right now to where that's gonna manifest?
Oh, I mean, that's just my life story. I mean, it's like everything I've been doing up until this point, now it's snowballing, and now it's the part where it's about to meet worldwide recognition. Like, so it's not even like a certain thing that I can even, mention to say this is what's going to be the catalyst. The whole journey has been the catalyst, but, I just know that within a year to a year and a half, I'm definitely going to be one of the biggest names to talk about when you talk about music.
And where you draw your, go ahead, Paul.
Is that a sheep jacket?
Is that a sheep jacket?
Oh shit!
It look like it.
No, it's actually
I like it, but it's like sheep.
Look, it's actually alpaca. You gotta block that shit.
Word.
What's up, Alaska?
That's a sheep. Hey, alpaca? You remember Emperor's New Groove? He was an alpaca.
That is not a sheep. Alpacas they're more closely related to llamas.
yeah, my bad, llama. Cusco in the Emperor's New Groove was an alpaca.
Yeah.
That shit hard though.
No, it's really alpaca?
No.
I'm about to say, because if you wear an alpaca, you really is gonna be one of the biggest artists.
You got dangerous PPO and shit.
Hey, speaking of animals, I did see an article about the animal shelters. You were saying, drops, if you got certain things, drop that off to, help support the animals or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kindness is kindness, no matter which way you divide it. So the same way people put attention into helping out shelters, for fellow humans, I think it's a beautiful thing to do that for, animals, who can never repay you in any sort of way. Like, I feel like it's actually more humble to do so, to do an act of kindness for somebody or something that literally can't pay you back. That way, your intention's all the way pure. Because it's like, I literally have no incentive to do this other than the fact I know it helps. So I'm big on that. If anybody listening has time to go and buy an extra pack of tennis balls to drop off at a dog shelter, or cat food to drop off at a cat shelter, whatever, hell, go to the park and throw out some bird seeds. It's just do something nice for some animals, man.
Definitely. Yeah, I was checking out that article you wrote.
We're a nonprofit now, so I'm thinking about what ideas to do So it could be a good idea for animals, like what he was saying.
Definitely. Nah, and then I was reading the article. So your brand of rap, what is it? Esoteric?
Yeah, esoteric.
Yeah, you into that stuff?
Yeah,
I'm into that stuff too.
yeah. I mean, you got a whole shaman stick.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know, right?
Wait, so for the people who don't know what that means, can y'all both tell us what that means? Because I don't know either.
I'll let Floyd do it.
Esotericism is basically just like subjects that are taught, learned, and understood by a smaller few than the grand masses. So that's really the best way to like nutshell that. Any topic that's really, it taps on deeper things. 9 times out of 7, it's like more spiritual stuff. But esoteric just means like, things that are taught and understood and learned by less than the masses.
Yeah. They might call it like a cult too. That's another word for it. Cult. Yeah, cult.
Okay, but so some people will say it's abnormal.
No, like religious people be trying to like, you need to be putting that down. We pray to God. That's what religious people like. Church people, that's what they say. It's anything. Because even like crystals, I told my grandma, I was like, I got crystals. You don't need to be having nothing else beside God now. You like that? Our grandma be with, you need to be in that Bible. So anything outside of the Bible, Christianity, they ain't trying to hear that shit.
Yeah, which is very, very that's like anyone who's like that, no disrespect, but it's like they're doing a huge disservice to themselves. Just because no matter what you believe, it's very foolish to only study one source of knowledge. Like you're going to miss out on so many other things. Like I get it if you love, Christianity with your whole heart and, everything else great we could say about it. But at the end of the day, if you never seek knowledge from anywhere else but one source, then you're going to miss out on, an abundance of things to know.
And that's what all things, right? It's like,
that's with everything.
But then you know what? And then the people that know that knowledge are going to use it against you because you don't know it. So that's why they call it like the 5%ers, they call stuff like that because they know shit. The common people don't know.
Definitely. No, I always think like that too, man. Like I always feel like you can't really say it was one thing because like I believe in like science and religion. They all go together in a way because you can't say one person made everything that we see today because there's people who. But then you got the people like grandma will say, oh no, he made that because God gave him the wisdom to make it. No, I'm like, there's people who, if you don't believe in that and you create this Tesla vehicle, how can you say you take that away from this person who made that and say God gave them the wisdom to make that? How come they couldn't have that wisdom on their own?
Yeah. One of my favorite hobbies is to piss off Christians. Like with their own logic though, like I love when I point out something factual from the Bible, and because I've now presented a uncomfortable way to think about something because they're not used to it, they're like, oh no, you're twisting the Lord's words and things like that. But really I'm not. Like, I mean, even in Genesis, when God quote unquote speaks in plural form, and he's like, let us make man in our image. Like the Bible literally says that, so if nothing else has been created and there's only just this one God that we're talking about here, then why would he say, let us as in plural, make man in our image? Like who is this us and who is this our that, you speak
I know what it is. It's them damn aliens that's about to come down.
Yeah.
Well, they already coming down. That's what they saying too, because the aliens already coming down. They was like, once they come down and we start figuring out what they doing, religion gonna go a whole different way anyway. Because what's their religion?
I mean, and then you even have like parts where a lot of people miss the fact that in Genesis, that book revolves around 2 different trees that were in the garden. They always think it was just one tree for some reason. And so you have the tree of eternal life, and then you have the tree of knowledge.
Yeah.
Two whole different trees that we're talking about. And it was when they took from the tree of knowledge that they had, and this is a quote in Genesis, like y'all could really Google this and find this out, you know, but it really says, you know, now that man is taken from the fruit of knowledge, they have become like us, the gods. It literally says that, like us, the gods, plural. You know, and this isn't me twisting some, you know, stuff. This is actually King James Version, biblical, you know, text that I'm, you know, quoting right now. And so that opens up grander questions. You know, also a lot of Christians, they believe in one God and one God only. And that's fine. Like, do whatever to your heart's content makes you happy. I'm not here to take away anyone's joy. I actually frown upon that, you know, but I do love inserting, you know, facts that help you think. And so the next fact that I think will help Christians think is that they say, you know, oh, there's only one God. Well, how is that possible if in your Bible it even announces that there's more? One of the rules that, you know, the Christian God had said was, thou shalt not worship any other gods before me. Well, isn't that a redundant question? Like a redundant, you know, thing to say I shouldn't do if I couldn't do it? It's like, how could I worship another God before you if you're the only God? You know, like make it make sense.
Yeah, I never thought about that either.
Yeah. Like how could I, you know?
But I guess they say you could people make certain things gods, I guess. Like, but like you saying, if it's only one, then they shouldn't be able to make another one.
Yeah. That's like somebody having a pet goldfish, and then they have, you know, they have a sign on the door that says don't feed the dog. It's
Let
like,
me say,
how can I if there's only a goldfish in here?
I guess the way I look at it though, if they say you made in God's image, don't that mean like we're all gods or a form of God, or expression of God?
No, there's no need to make it, you know, modest. Like I saw what you did there, and you tried to like water it down, but nah, like when you say it with your chest. It's like, no, I actually am a God. You know, if my father is a God, you know, let's talk about Jesus. Like if my father is a God, why would I not be what my father is? You know, it's like
my last name, what his last name is, right?
Yeah, it's like when we watch shows like Maury, you know, how they know if the baby's the daddy's or not. They hold up a picture side by side, and it's like, you're gonna look like him. You know what I mean? And it's like, so granted, you know, they do like DNA tests, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Right. It's like, you know, why would I not, you know, as you know, speaking from like an energetic makeup, you know, like why would I not be what my creator is? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like you're saying that God is my father, but it's blasphemous for me to say that I'm a God. Like that's wild, yo.
Yeah, that shit was crazy how they was making fun of Kanye for saying that. I'm like, shit. What are you supposed to say?
And then, you know, another part of that I like to always, you know, mention is like when people say like, oh, somebody says the word like, oh, you know, God damn it. Then they're like, oh, don't take the Lord's name in vain. But it's like, I'm not, because God is not a name. God is a title. That's what that is. Like that, like it's literally not a name. It is a title. So, you know, I think people get very confused when they say, if you say God damn it or God this, God, you're taking the Lord's name in vain, but it's like, that's simply not true. That is merely a title. You know, in the Hebrew teachings, you know, you can't even pronounce the name of God because God actually has a name, the one that they speak of.
And I think Muslims don't even have they don't even have a vision of what he looked like. Like it's like that's wrong to even say. Like you can't draw you never seen anybody draw Muhammad, because it's like they don't even get to the point to where they have a visual of what he looked like. They just that's who they serve. So it's crazy because and it's funny because when you think about it, that's the one God, that's their God, but that's still the one God. Like everybody's got different names for the one God, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, well, yes and no. Like I believe it is a little bit of both. Like, you know, like growing up, we all have different nicknames and things different people know us by, you know? So I think in some instances it works like that. Like, you know, I have a childhood nickname that my family knows me by. Some of my family members know me by Junior. Somebody who knew me when I rapped, you know, when I was 18, they would know my stage name from then. people who know me now, I'm Floyd in the Sky. Some people just call me Floyd. One of my homies from years ago, he would just call me F. You know what I mean? So it's like, now if all these people were separated by time and space and they all told their descendants about me, they would all use different names.
And different memories, different ways to describe you.
And it would be silly for them to fight over that, because it's like, yeah, no, I am Floyd in the Sky. Yeah, I am F. Yeah, I am, all these other names. It's like, it's just how different people have met me, So
yeah, that's some dope shit to think about. That is dope. Because it's like that now. Like you just right. It's people that know me from when I was a teen who don't know what I've done since I became a grown man. Yeah. And they look at you and be like, yo, you doing that now? I remember you was a bad little boy, man, when you was you doing good now. I remember you was stealing from the store, now ladies and shit. But nah, yeah. you preaching right now. Shit. I'm like, because look, I was telling Paul about a dude. I was working at a jail, and we had a dude in there. He was a Pastafarian. And what it was it's a religion. It's an actual religion.
I know what you're talking about. They worship like the spaghetti man, right?
Yeah. So,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what he was saying was like they kind of like make fun of Christians too with it, because they religion is a parody on Christianity in a way, because it's like you can make anything and worship it, and that's what they did. They wear the damn pasta strainer on their head as a hat. They got it. The church is called the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, and
I forgot
they got a big following.
I forgot I knew that until I had to think about it after you said it. And I was like, damn, that is in my brain somewhere. I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, so it's like, yo, this dude was able to write a letter to our warden to wear the pasta strainer as religious material.
Yo, y'all kitchens at home, do y'all have like the junk drawer?
Yeah.
All right, so I think almost every Black household has that junk drawer in the kitchen, and it's like, and you never know what's in it, but things that might be useful, you just throw in there.
Exactly.
And so when you talked about the Pastafarians, my brain was like, "What is that? Check the junk drawer. Check the junk drawer."
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You like I got in here.
You like, I know I heard about that somewhere, huh?
I was like, I think we got something like that in here.
But I said, what was they smoking that made them come up with that? And then he even got followers doing that shit. That's the crazy part. He got some followers to do that shit with him. Like, god damn.
But yeah.
But I think that's just that's just the way life is. Like, I guess when you open up your mind, you start like you just had me fucked up with the thing about the people who know you by different names, and they do have that's their truth. How you gonna tell them that they don't know you from that situation?
Yeah, what if I did an act of kindness at the gas station? Right, there's somebody outside the gas station. It's like, you got $1. So I come outside, I give them $1, I help them out, and then I never tell them my name. But the person I came to the store with that's waiting in the car for me, they yell out the window to me and they like, "Hey, big bro, you ready?" You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Yeah, here I come." I get in the car and we drive off. That person I did that nice act of kindness for, they don't have any other resource to know what my name is other than what that person called me. They called me Big Bro. You know what I mean? And so it's like, they gonna tell their people, I met Big Bro.
Hey, Big Bro, good dude, huh? Big Bro, good dude.
You know what I mean? So it's like...
that's deep on another level. Like, hey, Big Bro. Now, what if he start speaking about you to his other people who may be going through it or whatever? So you never know. They all sitting around talking about what Big Bro did, and they can't wait to meet. And they can't wait to meet Big Bro. It's like, yo, Big Bro giving out $5. Oh shit! I can't wait to meet Big Bro.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And then when they start comparing stories, they're like, man, they be like, I only met one dude that ever did something like that, man. His name was Floyd, man. Floyd's a good dude. Man, Floyd and Big Bro, man, they good dudes. And now they starting to go to war over who's the better dude, Big Bro or Floyd. And it's like,
it's the same person. Let me take my glasses off. I don't want to see that shit. Got me crying a little bit. Yeah, because look, y'all fight over the same person.
It's like, nigga.
No, you spitting that shit right there. That's real talk. And it be like that too, though. With a lot of things. So as far as like the music, man, like your inspirations is, if I was looking at the song titles of the album, So I was like, what goes into you, like, you know, naming a song and the inspiration behind the song?
So there was some dude I was watching recently, and he's in like, I'm gonna say like the pop genre. And I swear I forget his name. I can't remember his name right now, but it's one of those names I hear often. Like, he's pretty popular. And he was going over his songwriting technique of how he does it. And the thing that I found very interesting was that we have a very similar way of finding our songs. And basically it's like you feel the beat, you hear the beat, and once you get that feeling, you just kind of just start mumbling out some shit, you know, and it's like the act of channeling. And that's basically what he was saying he does, you know, except he described his method as Ouija boarding. Because you know how, like, you know what a Ouija board is, right?
It moves on its own, right?
Yeah, so it's like Ouija boarding is like how people would understand what, you know, spirits are saying in the physical realm. So it's like, basically he was using that analogy, like saying he draws his inspiration from what's given to him. And that's literally exactly what I do. I never know what any of my songs are going to be about. I just know when I feel a certain feeling, when I hear a beat, I just go off of it, and it comes out as like mumbles at first, and then, you know, once I get the mumbles and the melody, then the actual words start happening, and whatever I feel like is the most prominent message of that song or the lyrics, that's what I name the song.
Well, let's go into this Bird Don't Cry, man. Let's let them hear this Bird Don't Cry. This is off the Above Moldavite Mountain album by the homie Floyd in the Sky, man.
Yeah, let's do it. It's one of my favorites.
Let's do it. Bird in the Sky. Y'all hearing it right now on the Just Two Black Brothers. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's do it. This that one, I like that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the people
Birds don't cry on the runway, yeah. Send my vibes with the feng shui, yeah. That's big packs for you match my dealer. Red lipstick, so she might be killer. Birds don't cry on the runway, yeah. Send my vibes with the feng shui, yeah. That's big packs for you match my dealer. Red lipstick, so she might be killer. Red lipstick, so she might be killer. The world's too cold, so she use concealer. She's an activist, can't wear chinchilla. Retail therapy, don't judge my healer. Diamonds are a girl's best friend to the bone. Put it on me nice, good enough to write home. I haven't fell in love in a very long time. Scary looking in your eyes, she's the barrel of a nine. In out of your, out of palm of your hand. Golden rose leaf, poison dripping, you die as good as you can. In out of your, out of palm of your hand. Golden rose leaf, poison dripping, you die as good as you can. Birds don't cry on the runway, yeah. Send my vibes with the feng shui, yeah. That's big packs, but you match my dealer. Red lipstick, so she might be killer. Birds don't cry on the runway, yeah. Send my vibes with the feng shui, yeah. That's big packs, but you match my dealer. Red lipstick, so she might be killer. Red lipstick, so she might be match ring sets, like swing sets. Back and forth with a nice piece, yeah. MV3's like a hype beast, yeah. I'm D12 going light speed, yeah. I can tell some of y'all don't like me. I'm a god, so I always keep it high key. I'm a god, so I always keep it high key. I'm not just anybody, put somebody, get a color. Only time the sky was falling, look up at the stars tomorrow, holding everything you borrow. Knowing nothing comes as easy every time we come this photo. I be living by the motto, rapping semi-auto. Double tap the trigger like my Instagram and follow. And I'm out of Lex up in a jar with the cardo. Birds don't cry on the runway, yeah. Send my vibes with the feng shui, yeah. That's big packs, but you match my dealer. Red lipstick, so she might be killer. Birds don't cry on the runway, yeah. Send my vibes with the feng shui, yeah. That's big packs, but you match my dealer. Red lipstick, so she might be killer.
Man, I don't know if you did that on purpose, but you sound like you was from the UK on there a little bit.
Yeah.
That shit was tight. I like that. Like when you used to kill off, like you start sounding like you from the UK. That's
yeah.
Cool.
Realistic, so she might be killer. Yo, he got a like little that joint fire though, but that the outro had enough time for Poe to spit a verse.
I know. I was thinking about it. I got quick. Y'all be leaving me them little the part to get in my little joint too, right quick. Get on.
Yeah, man.
Start
Start talking about that moissanite.
Yeah, that moissanite and that shaman stick shit. They don't know what the hell going on, huh? But nah, yeah, I like that joint. I said, because listening to it, I was just like, man, you know what it is? I said that's just a person who know what he's doing, man. Like as far as like you tapped into a higher power, and like you said, in a couple of years, a year or two, yeah, you're gonna be up there, man. I already know it. So I like that joint. I like the album. It's some good mood music as well on there. So
yo, a fun fact that nobody knows really is that the title "Bird Don't Cry" that's actually a typo, and yeah, and the song title is actually "Birds Don't Cry" plural. But but when we put out the album, it was for reasons that I don't care to go into, we had to get it out fast.
Right.
And so the person who was typing the buttons and all that, you know, they were rushing. And
exactly.
So a typo happened, but you know, nonetheless, it's still, you know, it gets the point across. So I'm not mad at it.
All day. You say "Bird Don't Cry" on the runway, so shoot, it go together. So you independent? You independent? Are you signed to a deal right now, or what?
Yeah, I'm independent, man. I'm a whole free agent out here.
They saying that's the way of the future anyway. You know, independent. I guess they saying everybody want to see what Drake gonna do, because he could change the game if he go independent, or if he sign on with a major. But
I mean, I feel like I don't think it's a one size fits all type of thing. Yeah. Like I think it all, you know, it's just about your circumstances. You know, it's kind of like someone saying, should you rent a home or should you buy a home? It's like, bro, whatever you
gonna live in both them shits, huh?
Yeah, it's like whatever your pockets can do to make it happen, bro. It, like you just said, the end result is the same. Like I have a roof over my head and, you know, all those great things that come with a home. So I don't think there's any need to praise one position over the other. You know, long as you're doing what you said you was gonna get out here and do, and that's get your voice heard. I don't really care, you know, how you did it. You know, whether it was independent or, you know, with help of a label.
Facts. And what's the feedback been for the album?
Man, people love it. People absolutely love it. You know, like I said earlier, I do truly like no gas involved. I really believe it's my first masterpiece that I've made. And I'm happy to see that people have received it, you know, with the same type of emotion. You know, they're like, yeah, you're only getting better, you know. Right. And I do appreciate when people take their time to let me know that I'm not fucking up. They're like, like, definitely. Yeah, they like, yo, you know, we're listening to all your projects, and you know, they keep going up versus
right. That's what I was gonna say. Everything's like you sound different than when you sound when we first interviewed from the songs that we played at that time. And then I think you was on Politick first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like everything is going up, man. So it's like one of those things where like, yeah, the sky is with you, the sky is probably not the limit because you're gonna go into the other stratosphere.
Nah, it's definitely the sky is the limit, you know, because I do plan to be one of those trailblazers that, you know, show what is possible. And I would like to be used as, you know, an example and a blueprint for, you know, whoever comes next after me in the next 20, 30 years. You know, it's like Floyd in the sky. Yep, sky's the limit. So look at what he did. Because, you know, that's what's possible out here. You know,
I see the Tupac in the background.
Oh, yeah, man. I got, you know, saying this huge Tupac poster in my room.
Oh, what's that next to him? What's that next to him? Who's that next to him? Oh, the other side. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that's Madonna.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, gotta love Madonna. Got Tupac, got Prince, got me. Yeah. So I just moved into a new house, by the way. So I'm like in here just decorating the crib and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I like to keep pictures up of things that just inspire me, you know, in general. So definitely got to have Tupac. Side note, yes, this wall is black. You guys ever seen that movie Baby Boy with Tyrese?
Yeah.
So when I was a kid and I was watching that movie, I remember the thing that stuck out the most to me was he had all black walls and he had this huge Tupac mural.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I need that in my life. And so I've had this poster, but you know, I never had my walls black before. So I was like, and this poster is huge. Like, you can't really, but that's a big ass poster.
I say fun fact. You know why that poster was in the movie?
Why is that?
Because Tupac supposed to have been Tyrese. That role was for Tupac, but he died.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I said that shit would have been over, and then Snoop.
Oh yeah, that would have been fire.
And Rodney supposed to be Ice Cube. But that would have been so hard if Tupac played that. I mean, Tyrese did good, but just imagine Tupac doing that shit. I think that should have been harder.
Oh,
that's why they had that whole scene. They played Hail Mary and they shot to the clip. Yeah. They talk. I had the behind the scenes. They were talking about the behind the scenes why they did it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's my favorite artist, because you know a lot of people talk about bars and all of this and that. I said, man, look, he didn't have to have crazy bars and determine what y'all say crazy bars is, because the shit he was saying was crazy bars to me. That was,
you know
crazy.
What? There's this group called Earth Gang that I respect so much, man. Like, it consists of two dudes. I think one of their names, I don't even want to butcher it, but cuz his name is Venus. It's something Venus. And then his other person he got in the group, I want to say his name's like Wow Great. And I was listening to one of their songs, and I forget who delivered the line specifically, but one of their lines in their verse, they said, I'm over my lyrical phase, I'd rather be potent. And I felt that so deep, you know, because I was like, you know, it's cool to be lyrical, you know, right. Like in a sense of, oh, he uses a lot of oxymorons and double entendres and things like that. But it's like, it's also a skill to be able to say things that are just, they hit hard. It's like, you know, it wasn't nothing crazy about it. It's just the fact that somebody said this, you know? So
all day.
Yeah, so I totally resonated with that, because I would rather, you know, my words be remembered for their potency, you know, than their finesse. Like, sure, you know, I went both as a star player, but I think the potency and the meaning, you know, it goes beyond anything else, really.
I would say, I think, and then when you listen to Tupac, I can tell that he used to listen to Malcolm X, because that's if you listen to Malcolm X, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, because it's kind of just how Tupac was. Like, Malcolm X wasn't saying no big ass words and shit. He was saying what he had to say to get to the people. Like, Martin Luther King was throwing them big words in there and all that shit, but X, he was just hitting you with them bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally what I'm after, man. Like, you know, I just I'm really going for that platform. You know, once I get that platform to really, really show the world like other layers of me, of what I want to do, you know, with my existence. So, you know, music is just like, you know how when a rocket ship, you know, goes to outer space or whatever, how it lifts off and then it has like those two like mini rockets that break off of it when it gets to where it needs to go. It's like that, you know, with me and music. You know, it's like I forever want to be remembered for my music, but I also understand the sole purpose of what I'm doing is greater than that, you know? So it's like the music is just going to like get me there. Then, you know, it's like, and we keep going from that point. So.
You look like you heavy into fashion too.
Oh man, I love fashion. I love fashion.
Like, so that's some stuff. So I was gonna say, basically, that's my segue into what are some things you are doing outside of music.
So really, I'm still sorting all that out. But so I'm into fashion. In a nutshell, I wasn't even this deep into fashion until probably about a year or 2 years ago. Really. You know, I basically would always keep my fashion sense to like one tone. You know, it's like I throw on like the newest pair of Yeezys, some tight black jeans, and do whatever shirt I wanted. And sure, it looked good, but that wasn't like going into fashion. And so what happened was I started hanging out with this girl, man, that I fell in love with. And she was so cool. Like, she dressed so cool. And, you know, I'm competitive by nature. And so honestly, it was like when I saw how cool she was dressing, I was like, oh, bet. I was like, I got some ideas now. And so, you know, once I started hanging out with her, I would always like make it like a daily in my own brain competition to look better than her.
No, I feel it. I said, you sit up there, you got the fucking alpaca on, you got the ring. Hey, I saw the ring. That's a ring on your pinky?
Yeah, so that's Moldavite. That's actually a Moldavite.
Oh,
stone.
okay.
Yeah.
No, that's dope. So I said, yeah, he up there chilling. I said, but look, you just got the
he up there chilling.
You got the look. You got the look. They like, yo, you walk outside like that, somebody gonna be like, who the fuck is that? Can I get your picture? Can I get your autograph? They don't know who the fuck it is, but they know they got.
Yeah,
you don't understand the vision. You don't understand it.
Yo, I just be cozy, man. I took that word from ASAP Rocky, man. I just be cozy. Yeah,
my sister came to visit here. I'm in New York City, so she had on some. She came out here with some she had on some off-whites, tight ass leather pants. I'm like, somebody gonna think you somebody or with us walking around and shit, because the whole aura she was giving off, they're gonna be like, who the fuck is she? Let me try to get her autograph. We don't know. And she couldn't tell them anything. She could be like, yo, I just did a movie with fucking Keanu Reeves or whatever, and they probably will believe her, because I guess some people just give that presence like, yo, you, and that's a comfortable in your own type skin thing too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, so I got fashion going on. Other than that, one day I have an ambition to own my own tobacco fields in Nicaragua, because I would like to have my own cigar shop. And so, yeah, because I'm heavy into cigars. Like I actually help out at a cigar shop here in Augusta, Georgia, named Marcella's. Like I spend at least 4 hours of my day every day around cigars.
They make you one yet? They make you your own one yet?
Yo, so the woman who owns the shop, Marcella's, her son, he knows how to roll cigars. And literally the day when I saw him, I was like, hey man, I was like, what do I need to do to get you to teach me how to roll a cigar? And he was like, just buy the tobacco leaves. He was like, and I'll teach you. So that is something I am going to learn how to do. But I'm huge in the cigar culture, man. I really love it. It runs deep, just like wine culture does.
Yeah.
And I love art. So anything that has like an art form to it, I want to learn it. But one of my closer ambitions, as I was saying, was to have my own tobacco fields and to have my own cigar shop one day. So, that's one of those things I'm doing. And everything else is kind of still, I'm sketching it out, but definitely humanitarian things and, things for the animals. Like, not gonna lie, I'll put more of my focus towards animals first, just because, they don't have a voice at all. So that will be most of my main focus. Because I think it just raises the what am I trying to say? It raises the consciousness, within the world, man. Like, when it's one thing to be able to communicate with humans, and it's another thing to be able to communicate with animals, and it's another thing to be able to communicate with plants. Because after you learn how to communicate with those things, now you can start talking to the stars and the sun. Now you can talk to the clouds in the sky. Now you can really go to some levels, man. So I got really all about. What's up?
I got 30 plants.
You got 3 new plants?
30.
Yeah.
Good grief.
I got a lot of
congratulations.
Damn, for real? You really mean that when you say you can start talking to the plants and stuff?
Yeah, you make them grow.
I really mean that.
You gotta talk to them.
A plant is just as alive as you and me are. One thing that gets on my nerves that a lot of humans do that I think is rather pretentious is they love to tell you what the existence or the life experience of another life form is. So if somebody kills an ant, they're like, oh, ants can't feel pain. Ants don't have thoughts like me and you. It's like, nigga, how you know? Like, please
nigga, you see the movie Ants? They was talking all that shit.
It's like, yo, please tell me what day and hour you spent as an ant. And they can't, and it's like, so therefore you cannot tell me for a fact, what an ant thinks and goes through. And if it's
niggas just be stepping on them shit. So
right, without any disregard. But like, for me, I love witnessing the knowledge in nature. Like, anytime you see ants, boy, they be on a mission.
They be working.
It's like they be having single file lines going on. These going that way to do something. Yep. These coming back to carry something back. It's always something going on. So
you about to make me go buy like one of the little ant things, because I tell my boys about ants because I say, you know, with an ant, like if you see a trail of ants and you like, if you disrupt that line, you fuck up a whole bunch of shit.
Yes.
Because they all connected. They all like connected in a way in that trail. So if you try to like rub it, I learned that in school too. If you rub a line of ants in the middle of it, yeah, you messing up a supply line of food, all kind of stuff.
Yeah, even like, you know, so I think it was Barack Obama, you know, who was most notable for having a picture taken where he was like shaking the janitor's hand at the White House.
Yeah, I remember that.
And, you know, then like came the phrase where it's like, you know, pay attention to how people, you know, treat the janitor, because that's how they treat, you know, everyone else. Thanks. You know, and so I take that to heart and I apply that to every other aspect of my life, where it's like, if you're not watching me and I'm treating animals like shit, you know, it's like, what does that say about how I'll treat another human? Like,
that's what they say too, though. They say if you start off like torturing animals, you're gonna probably be torturing humans when you get a little older.
Yeah.
It's like making you getting like you don't got no conscience and shit.
Yeah. And so even if I see an animal that's doing something that I don't understand what it's doing, but if I'm at least kind to that animal, I think that displays my true character of how I would be on a, you know, higher scale with like a human, you know, like, so I think it's levels to everything, you know, and human consciousness right now, it's at a very cool evolutional, you know, space. Like I do feel like consciousness is growing as a whole on this planet. But I want to be one of those ambassadors that help that process along its way, you know, and just bring awareness to things. You know, if nothing else, just let me give you something new to think about, or let me give you a new way to think about something you thought about a million times before, you know? I think Tupac was one who said it, where he was like, you know, he wanted a change to happen. And he wasn't necessarily saying that he was going to be the change, but he was like, if I could at least plant the seed, you know, it's like, then that's good enough for me, you know? So that's what I'm all about. And with my music, you know, it's like, I try to tie in all these different aspects of how I view things, you know, because the radio only plays like the same, you know, 25 people all day long, you know, every day. And you might not necessarily vibe with the message or anything of those 25 people. But if you love music enough, then hell, if that's all you got, you're going to eat something off the plate. You know what I mean? Like I hate peanut butter, bro. Like that's a fact about me. I don't like peanut butter. But you telling me like I'm gonna have to either choose, am I gonna starve or am I gonna, you know, eat a peanut butter sandwich? I'm gonna eat the damn peanut butter sandwich. I ain't gonna like it like that, but I'm gonna eat it and I ain't gonna die. Right. You know, and so that's how.
No, that makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah, you know, so it's like for my music, I know that I'm opening up that lane, you know, that adds to others that have done it, because I'm not the first or the only one who's done it. But it's like, you know, I open up that lane more to give that other option for people who are like, I've been waiting to consume something like this. You know, finally, someone who's saying the things I think, you know.
Yo, that's why we let you breathe on here, because I was just thinking about that when you said it. I was like, yo, if he was on like the main top podcast talking this shit, they would have shut him off. They would have cut him off, because they probably don't want to hear that. But there are people out there who want to hear that. Yeah, and that's why with us we let the artist breathe, man. Like, because you never know who gonna fool with you based off of that.
Yeah,
like, I feel tapped in with Floyd now because I don't kill ants. You feel me? like I don't want to disrupt the supply of food. Like my favorite, and look, and I ain't even BSing. My favorite Disney movie. Well, if I had to get my top three, it would be Jungle Book #1. Number 2 will be A Bug's Life, and then number 3, it's gonna be I'm going with the cliche Lion King. But like Bug's Life is my joint, because it was like that was a life lesson in there with them going
with
and dealing with the grasshoppers beating up, bullying up on them, and they need somebody to try to stand up for them, and they kind of do need somebody to stand up for them in what we was talking about, like that supply food. Some people are like, damn, why? if you got ants in your house like that, it ain't the ant's fault, nigga. You gotta clean that. You got some shit. You got a goddamn blow pop stuck in the corner somewhere, nigga. They smelled that goddamn.
You got a blow pop stuck back there, bitch.
They didn't smell that. They didn't smell that goddamn thing from the house across the street, nigga. They like, it's a blow pop across the street in the goddamn corner. We gonna go get that joint.
He wild for that.
So but that's the thing, like, and that's the truth though, because like a lot, and that could go for any type of unwanted animal in your fucking house. It's a reason why it's a goddamn rat in your house.
Yeah, it's
a reason why it's a roach in your house, right?
Yeah, so, you gotta tighten up.
So you gotta tighten up, man.
You gotta tighten up. Yo, look.
You mad at the roach, nigga. You mad at the wrong person.
Bro, look, just the other day, you know what I'm saying? I had the bug people come out to spray my crib because like I'm not cool with having roaches in the crib. Yeah. Like I have no thing against roaches, but you know, they are invasive. And you know, again, I don't want to have to kill you, so just don't come around, you know. So I got the pest people to come out. You know, because like you said, you got to be proactive, man. I can't see you crawl across the kitchen floor at 1:33 in the morning, and I'm looking at you like, nigga, why is you here?
Nah, that's the reason why I'm here, player.
Yeah, you looking at me like, isn't it obvious?
Hey, you gonna be like, you know what the fuck going on?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, isn't it obvious? Woo. I have a family to feed, sir.
Hey, look, when you was little. When your friends come over, that motherfucker run across that TV, you like, oh, then you tell you like you know what that shit is. You like, what's that run across the TV? Nigga, you know what that is on that goddamn TV? That's a roach, nigga. But nah, we can't be mad at them because you set up the situation for them to thrive in your fucking house.
Yeah.
So,
and then I wasn't sure how good of like a homekeeper the previous owner of this house was. So I was like, I'm gonna make sure I take all the proper steps to make sure, you know, I'm taking care of it, you know, because, you know, if you got somebody named, you know, Mr. Johnson that ain't washed his ass and he was feeding the roaches every hour of the day, you know, and then Mr. Johnson dies and then you got Floyd that moves in, the roaches are still like, hey, our last person, Mr. Johnson, was real cool if we kicked it here. You cool with that? And I'm like, bro, actually, I'm not. You know, I
don't want to hurt you either. So
yeah, it's like we got to update a policy on these types of things.
No, that's funny. That's funny as shit, boy.
Like to go over a few things with you.
No, that's a fact. But nah, man, I'm looking at the time, man. I was like, shit, man. You know what it is? Every time we have good conversation, man, the time fly by. We appreciate you. Like I know I hit you up kind of like last minute, but I was like. Poe was like, yo, we got to get him back on. So I said, I'm going to reach out to him and see what we can do. So we appreciate you taking the time out, man. Because I know, like I said, I know you going up, man. So, you know, a lot of things are going on. So thank you for coming through with us and talking with us.
Things to, you know, keep your eyes on right now for anyone who's listening, you know, is just check out the recent album, Above Moldavite Mountain. I will be coming out with... well, I'm gonna keep that one a secret. And then also, you know, my next album that I'm gonna be working on, that's coming really soon too. Damn, I want to like say more about these things, but I really can't because it's like, nah, you gotta keep that under wraps. But a lot of great things are happening on YouTube. Run up the numbers on Aqua Tofana, the music video. You know, and we're gonna, you know, continue to grow.
Yeah, we got a little online radio joint, man. Every time we interview somebody, we throw a couple tracks on there. So you'll be in a rotation on there now. Like I said, we're going to have to set up something in 2022.
Let's do it.
Tap in with you, see what you got going on, man. So like I said, once again, let everybody know how they can find you. I know it's at Floyd in the Sky, right? On Instagram.
That's it. I mean, literally on every platform, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere you want to find me at, it's always going to be at Floyd in the Sky. FLOYDINTHESKY.
All right, for sure. Look, I mean, I gotta ask you this one. So, three people, man. You could bring them to a dinner party, dead or alive, man. Who you bringing, and what you gonna serve them at this dinner party?
All right, I'm definitely bringing Jimi Hendrix. He's got to be there. I'm bringing Marilyn Monroe.
The girl or the singer?
The actual. Well, Marilyn Monroe did sing a little bit. She sang "Happy
Oh
Birthday."
yeah, that is fact. Yeah. So we doing the dress, Marilyn Monroe, the woman.
Yeah. The Hollywood, that one. And I got one more person without burning up too much time. I'm bringing Osama bin Laden.
What you go? All right, real quick. What's something you gonna ask Osama?
I'm gonna ask. I would just like to know about his life, bro. Like I would really just like to know. I would pick his brain about everything. So it's not.
No, you know what? Hey, real quick, because we got a few minutes. I was just watching this thing on him, and like his own people cause him to like turn, because when Afghanistan, when the Iraq war started with Saddam Hussein in the 90s, there was a fear that Iraq was going to invade Kuwait. Well, they did invade Kuwait, but they was going to go hit Saudi Arabia next. And at that same time, bin Laden had already built up his people to be, that they was like a big fighting force at that time. So when he reached out to his dad, they was big people. They big in Saudi Arabia. They was like, Dad, don't worry about it. I got some people that could defend Saudi Arabia from the onslaught of Iraq. But what happened was the dad then went with George Bush's offer to let the U.S. do it. Once that happened, fucked him up, man. Like he was on a war path against the U.S. Like if the U.S. is meddling in this to the point to where even the people from this region won't even accept. You're not even accepting a homegrown fighting force to fight against our own people. You taking somebody from a country that's so far away and dissing and kind of like dissing what we got going on. That kind of like turned him to the way he ended up, man. But I could see why that would probably piss him off, because we fighting holy wars here. The U.S. don't got religion to the level where we got religion. So how could you even inject yourself into this religious wars that we are fighting?
Yeah, I'm just the type of person, I like to have conversations with those that are misunderstood, because it's very easy to, in a shallow manner, write somebody off for being, a terrorist, or write them off for this or that. And it's like, you don't even know them. Like, you haven't even had a conversation with them. Like I remember last time I was on here, y'all asked me, y'all was like, if I could go back in the past and ask anybody a question, who would it be? And I was like, I'm going to go ask the devil something. I was like, man. And y'all was like, what? And I was like, no.
You on mute. You on mute.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, I was like, because that's a very misunderstood, character. And I would like to know more about, like what's going on there. So
right. His story wasn't never told, right? Like no one really got his story because he was the loser in the situation. So
so I just like to talk to people that have been misunderstood, so I can have a better, understanding. So that's what that is. Jimi Hendrix, Marilyn Monroe, and Osama bin Laden. Welcome to my dinner table. We're having raw oysters tonight, and we're having Cabernet, and I got some tequila over here if any of y'all want some shots.
That'd be crazy. What if the devil was bruh? Like, that's bruh right there.
He said
everything fucked up. I'm bruh.
He said, there go be bruh. He said, this is what I was telling you about.
That's the one right
there.
Gave
you $1? That's the nigga that gave you $1. You know who that is?
Man. Yo, Poe, you shut it down on that one.
That's the nigga that gave you $1.
Oh, that's bruh right there. Oh, that's funny as shit. But yeah, bro, we got you. Hit you in 2022, man. Hey, continue doing what you're doing, man. We see it, bro. So I'm pretty sure other people see it too.
Likewise, let's keep linking up. Let's do it.